Welcome, Transformers fans. My name is Composite EnerJoe, and today we'll bring you my review of the Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Voyager class Optimus Prime. And yes, I can now finally talk about Transformers Prime Beast Hunter figures. And the significance behind that is that it was this toy line that really got me into collecting Transformers. It was this toy line. Now, Optimus here, I remember I got him in a convention after making some like a deal with the vendor. So I got a good deal on him by combining with like a couple of other figures. But yeah, this is Optimus Prime as he appears in the third season of Transformers Prime, which was subtitled Beast Hunters, which I find to be the best season of that show. Which is overall, in my opinion, the best Transformers show out there as of right now is Transformers Prime. It's not my favorite. It's actually my second favorite, but I do consider it the all-around best show. So here's Optimus Prime and his, I honestly don't know what this is. I'm just going to call it a beast hunting truck mode. I read somewhere this is also considered a monster fire truck mode, but I don't see it. So yeah, this is his truck mode. He's got 6 big wheels which all roll and give the figure a really nice smooth rolling. If that makes any sense. He rolls well. He rolls really well. If you want to, you could like untab this. I don't think he did this in the show, but you can untab this so you can have a flying truck. Because this Optimus, if you haven't seen the show, this form of Optimus, I'll get into more details about it a little later, but this form of Optimus has wings, so he can fly. So if you want, you can have a flying truck mode. It's an option, then you just peg that to place. And there it is. And lower that to make clearance for the ports. And that's pretty much it. It's a really, really cool, mean-looking, very stylized-looking truck mode. One thing I like about the Prime figures and the toy line, overall, not just Beast Hunters, is that I feel that this makes a perfect blend, is like the perfect blend of animated, of the stylized look from the animated toy line, which I don't particularly like, because I felt that was too cartoonish. But yet, this mixes the stylization of Transformers animated with the realistic look of the movie style. So this is like the blend of the best of both worlds. We get the Prime figures, which I actually really like. They all look really cool, and for the most part, a lot of them do look fairly realistic. This, you can tell, does look like a truck, but it's a very unique looking and fantastical truck. Well, that's enough gushing about the truck mode. It's very cool, very solid. Let's get on to a couple other things. Well, before transformation, I might as well mention his accessory. He comes with like 3 accessories. He has these 2 guns, which you can open these up. They do this. And this fold all the way back. I mean, you can do that, but I don't think it's supposed to do that, so I'm not going to do that, because I might be breaking it. And they are, as you can tell by the button, they are spring-loaded. Oh. Wait. There we go. A bit of a delay. Let me try again. These actually are pretty good. Oh, there we go. I don't know what's going on with this one. Oh, there we go. It's working now. And it's a pretty cool detailed, it's got like a detailed like fire molding on the missile. So it's a very cool little missile. And both can fire. This one gives me less trouble. And you peg these in the vehicle mode. You store them by pegging them on these ports. There's to give them some guns on the side. And these are pretty neat. Even though these weapons he didn't have in the show, but I'll go into more detail about that later. And then we have this one, which is probably my favorite accessory that he has, and that's the Star Saber, which is really cool. This is a really cool looking sword. And he did use this in the show. However, the accuracy of the sword is pretty close. In terms of like the design, it's really close. Albeit a simplified version of how it looks in the show. And in fact, the biggest difference between what this looks like, and I guess it's a tiny complaint, is that why did they make this green? Like, they also gave him green windshields here, but I'm like, in the show, these are blue. I don't know, I think these are actually kind of a little bit red, but, well, they're clear, so it doesn't really matter. But the Starsaber was actually like all silver. Was like a silver or grayish blade with like a dark gray handle. Well, a little lighter than this. But whenever he would use it, or like use the energy of the Starsaber, it would glow blue. So, why green? I don't know, but you know what? I overall really like how this looks, and I like the green blade and the green tint because I think it makes this figure stand out a little bit more. Even though, yeah, it's not as show accurate because of it, but I still really like it. And I think this color combination looks really cool and makes the figure stand out a little more. Now, to store this in vehicle mode, you just plug it up here onto this thing. And there you go. Then you have this ferocious looking truck with cannons and a sword on top of it. Whoops. And there you go. And I guess I mentioned the vehicle mode is actually really close to how it looks like in the show, at least in the 3rd season when Optimus gets upgraded into this form. So yeah. So let's get on with transformation. I think I've talked a little bit too much about the vehicle mode. So take the Starsaber, put it over there, take these missile launchers, which I think the official name of these is the Ionic Pulse Launchers. I think that's what these are called. I'll put these off to the side. Let's get on with a transformation. First, let's unpeg the wings. So like before, unpeg them, fold them up. And the reason for this is just to have clearance for the rest of the transformation. So now he's actually pretty straightforward. As you can kind of see, these are the arms, these are the legs. So yeah, his transformation is not too complicated. First, you fold these down and then unpeg these from there. And then fold them forward. And then these things will connect together. And then with these, I think you're supposed to fold them there like that. So down here, you fold these down so that you can see. Unpeg. You can see the arms from the legs. You have to unpeg them. Then straighten this out. Let me lift it up a bit because he's getting it tall now. Now for this, just fold out the heels and the legs are pretty much done. Oh, and separate the legs and they're pretty much done. Now for this part, what was it supposed to? Oh yeah, you're supposed to lift this up a bit and come in here, separate forward the arms, lift up the head a bit, and then turn. What you're supposed to do is turn. Oh yeah, and like that, separate forward, fold forward, and then you have to turn this entire thing. It's kind of weird, but you have to make sure that this is lined up so that you can turn it to make sure that this goes on his back. Then move all the other bits for clearance. Then fold this in. Unfortunately, this is like, I guess, one complaint I have. This doesn't really peg in. But when you put the wings down, I think it holds it into place. It'll click into place from through there. So then you have to have that from the back. I feel that's like the most complicated thing is that, trying to line it up. The head, just fold it all the way forward until it clicks and you have a nice head sculpt there. Then for this, you peg this here. And then for the arms, then same here, peg it there. Then bring this piece down and fold it there. And then this piece here, does it peg? Oh, it does. It does, I forgot, yeah. You can line it up there and it'll peg into place. Not a strong connection, but at least it holds this in place. Oh yeah, and because of the way this is done, he does have waist articulation. But because this is connected, this is so far here, even though like it's loosely here, so you can probably separate it back a little, and then you can have a waist swivel. Just letting you know about that. And then the wings, just fold them down, and that's it. And then the shoulders, just point them up. I think these can be a bit loose, but there you go. And there we have Optimus in his robot mode, and this is really, really cool. It's a cool, big, and buff and bulky muscular Optimus Prime. You ever wanted to know what a muscular Optimus Prime looks like? Here you go. This is what he would look like. And check out that head sculpt. I guess I don't like that he does that it's not his battle mask, but I appreciate that they gave him his show accurate face, that with a little mouth, which looks like he has a scowl going on. Oh, and he also has pretty good green light piping. Like I said, I don't know why they made it green instead of blue, but I like it. It makes the figure stand out a little more. And then we have, yeah, really nicely detailed. and pretty close. Like in terms of like design and like design accuracy to the show, it's really close to how he looks like in the show. I guess like if anything, he's still a little bit slimmer, which is a bit weird. But yeah, he's a little skinnier than how he is on the show. In the show, he's a bit more bulky. But here, this is really, really nice. Really nice. Transformation was pretty straightforward, not too complicated, and I like that. You don't need a really complicated transformation to make a good Transformer. So let's get on with articulation. If you have the wings full, make sure to have the wings like this for clearance, so that you can rotate these. So yeah, because the arms can rotate like that. Can go up that far, swivel there, elbow there, hand swivel, which is really nice. The head is not on a ball joint, unfortunately, but he can swivel left to right. Legs can do a really nice kick. Can move that far. He's got like double hinge there. I think this is referred to as a universal joint. I don't remember, but he's got like hinge and hinge there. Rotation, he can rotate. You can swivel at the knee, bend at the knee, and a little bit of up and down on the foot. And that's it. And he does, like I said, has waist. He does have a waist, but you have to like maneuver this around so that he can get it. So yeah, he has articulation. He's very nice. He's very well articulated, very nicely proportioned, and pretty show accurate as well. I guess one tiny thing is that these are a bit loose. If you point them up and don't mess with them, like they kind of stand still fairly well. Oh, and plus, you have his wings, because this version of Optimus can fly. He can indeed fly. So he has these wings, which are not for show. He does actually fly. So you can have the wings out and whatnot. So there he is. So let's get on to his weapons. First off, the two guns, which you just plug into each arm. And, whoops, careful with the trigger. And there you go. He's got the two ionic pulse launchers. And there you go. But another cool thing you can do with these, and it's how I prefer to use them because he didn't have these weapons in the show, is that you can plug them in here, and these can actually simulate a jetpack, like a jetpack style thing. Oh, missile went off. Essentially, these become thrusters for his flight mode. See, the fires and whatnot, you open them up, like you open them up a little bit, and it looks like these are part of the wing assembly, so he can fly around. This is how I like to display him with these launchers stored away like that, because they resemble more like thrusters for his flying mode, for his flying around. And I'm just gonna mention it right now. The one complaint I have is that I wish this entire back part would peg in a lot more securely. I feel that it's a bit too loose for my liking. But that's it. That's pretty much. I think that's the only. What's the word I'm looking for? Complaint with the mold that I really have is that I wish that in there would have pegged in better. And then we have the Star Saber, which is my favorite accessory in this figure, which he holds in his hand like so, and boom, there's Optimus Star Saber, which he also has enough. He actually can, if the handle was long enough. It was actually long enough. He could hold it. I guess it is. You can actually have him hold it with two hands. And you could, if you put the sword all the way down, he can actually grab with the other one. So yeah, I think I've seen a lot. I think other people who reviewed this, they have not mentioned this. He can, in fact, hold it with two arms. He has that much range of his arms are articulated enough where he can do this. Albeit, you can probably get maybe one, maybe two poses like this. But come on, But just wanted to let you all know that he can do that. That he can hold the sword with two arms if you really want it. If you really want him to. And there you go. Oh, you can also store this sword. That's where this peg comes in. It's the same way as in his vehicle mode. You just store it like that. Plug it in here. Plug it in back here. And I like to angle it because I've always liked that. I think that looks a little cooler. Plus, you can have the thing where he's like trying to grab it, which he actually could. Once again, he has. Yeah, you can actually have him grab the sword from his back. And there we go. And that is pretty much this figure. Do I recommend them? Yes, I do. This is a fantastic figure. I actually really like the Transformers Prime line, toy line, specifically the Beast Hunters line. I think the Beast Hunters had a lot of really cool figures. And I just love it. Love this guy. This guy's fantastic. Great, solid figure. My only technical complaint is that the back part, I kind of wish would have pegged in more securely. But other than that, he's got articulation. He's show accurate. He just looks cool. I guess one complaint, like one tiny complaint, which I think what I have more of a problem with than the backpack thing, is that I wish he came with his chain gun. Because in the show, in the third season in Beast Hunters, when Optimus gets upgraded into this form, because this is not the form he shows up with. He doesn't start off in the show like this. He has a more traditional truck mode. He's a lot more slender looking. And he gets upgraded into this bulky mode in order to fight off a new villain in the show. Because Megatron isn't the only bad guy. There's another one who is arguably more powerful, who shows up and Optimus needs to get upgraded. So he does. So when he gets upgraded, he shows up with the flight pack so he can fly, and with a really cool looking minigun, like a Gatling chain minigun or whatever you want to call it, that he uses instead of these two blasters. Which he sort of has it underslung, so he holds it like the gun would be under here, and he would just shoot it while flying around. I guess I also would have preferred his battle mask, but once again, those are very tiny complaints. And from what I've seen, that chain gun you can actually buy from a third party as like an upgrade pack for this figure. But yeah, all of those things aside, the figure by itself, as is, it is a fantastic figure, and I highly recommend it. So this has been my review of the Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Voyager class Optimus Prime. There's a Composite EnerJoe. Oh, and I guess one other thing to mention, this figure wasn't really repainted, at least really. Like there's this one, and then the Japanese version, which is slightly more show accurate because the Star Saber's blue, and a couple more details are a little bit more show accurate. Like, that's pretty much it. So nothing special. He doesn't have any real repaints or retools. It's only showed up once as Optimus, and that was it. So yeah, this has been my review of the Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Voyager class Optimus Prime. That's a really long title, but that's what it's called. Optimus Prime, this is Composite EnerJoe, signing off. Peace out.